So we'll see if this works. Dad and Gord had some questions around um, instruments and stuff. So uh, what I have is a keyboard. It's just a MIDI controller, so it connects to my computer by USB. It doesn't actually make any sound on its own. It's basically just a computer input device. Um, it says connected to USB, and then I've got software running to do stuff with that. Um, so what we can see here is I've got multiple tracks, um, each being a different instrument. So you can see I've got drums, electric piano, bass, guitar, an organ. I think that's special effects of some kind, and then a tambourine. So record them one by one, and then when they're all played together, you get the whole thing. And then down here is where you can mix them and so on. So yeah, that's an overview. Like I said, each of these are their own instrument. So drums, for example, if I click there, it will open. You can see there's a drum kit. And they can also be controlled from here or on the keyboard. Probably can't hear that, but and the other way that drums work is if I open. So here's the actual music. You can see where each of these squares are. That corresponds to an event. In this case, it's some kind of drum being hit. So you can see the whole drum pattern kind of laid out there, and it kind of continues along. If we look at the piano, so it's obviously a different instrument, and you can see, and this isn't a real piano, obviously it's a synthesized piano, so it's made using some synthesizing techniques. So this is a synthesizer interface. Bass, again, it's the same synthesizer, but it obviously makes a different sound. I don't know, same thing here. What's this? So this is, again, a different piece of software to provide a different guitar sound. And for those, you can see, again, there are events which correspond to notes, and when those events are recorded and then played back, that's what makes the sound. So yeah, that's basically it. Trying to think what else I can show. There are, yeah, so we've got the instrument. Each instrument can have effects on it. Here I've got we've got the fat channel is basically what they've called a compressor and an equalizer. So compressor just sort of evens out the intensity of sounds, and an equalizer sort of, it's like in your stereo, kind of boosting the bass, mid-range, and treble sort of thing, or adjusting those, either to sound better or to play nicely with other instruments together. I've got a delay, which, so if I play the piano, you can hear those echoes. That's what the delay is doing. If I turn the delay off, there are no longer those echoes. So that's just to, make it sound a little more full or different, depending on what you're going for. And then there is also reverb on everything, and reverb is basically just to create a sense of space so that it sounds like you're in a live room with things, reverberations off the walls. Yeah, that's basically it. Let me know if there's more that you want to see. I'm trying to think what, there's tons of stuff to go into here, but that's basically it. If I did want to take one of my guitars, which is obviously not a computer input device, I can connect it to an interface which connects to the laptop via USB. There are things specifically for that purpose. I don't have one, but I do have a guitar effects unit back here behind this keyboard. That's a Line 6 pod controller, but which does a bunch of things. One of which provides that USB interface to the computer. So if I did want to record a guitar, I could use that. I don't typically, just because it complicates a whole bunch of things. So usually just using this controller, or that other keyboard does the same thing. It's just smaller and doesn't have as many controls on it as this one does. You can see, like with the, does a few things. One is these knobs up here. If I look at this, for example, you can see there are knobs to adjust certain parameters for the instrument here. The knobs on here would sort of serve the same purpose. Other things this one does is it's got, play, rewind, fast forward, record things, so I can control that sort of thing from here rather than having to go and click down here on these. Just makes it easier. And then these, same sort of thing when it comes time for mixing and doing other things. If I wanted to, I could use those sliders rather than in the software here. I typically would do that in the software though, because I kind of want to see what's going on and I just need to be able to do more things. Yeah, so that's it. Let me know if you have any more questions.